Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2, 3. "31 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock here in the first half as St. Francis takes on Davenport University in today's women's soccer game. Alejandra Alonso is in control of the ball down in the corner, and it's knocked out of bounds for a goal kick. Welcome once again to the broadcast. Apologies for all of the technical problems we've been having, and hopefully you're able to watch and listen to the game as it goes on right now, and we hope that we won't have any significant problems as this contest goes on. No score just yet. The offensive action has been primarily on the Davenport side of the field, but they haven't had any serious threats against Ellie Provo and the St. Francis defense. Kelly Petrowski is in for the Fighting Saints as a sub right now, but among the starting lineup for St. Francis today it was Olivia De La Rosa, Olivia Hollander, Brittany Cook, Madison Hanyon, Alejandra Alonso, Martina Katurba, Haley Wenberg, Grace McDermott, Camille Papalera, and Casey Harris. And again, Petrowski has since checked in, and she's up at forward right now. She's got a couple of goals this season, 2 of the 4 that St. Francis has scored as that ball trickles into the waiting hands of Davenport's freshman goalkeeper Macy DeWise. DeWise and Ellie Provo, a couple of young goalies in this game. Macy DeWise has allowed just 2 goals total through 2 games this year. St. Francis's sophomore keeper Ellie Provo has a 1.24 goals allowed average. That's 4 goals in 3 games. Kicked out of bounds by Brittany Cook. That's a throw-in right around midfield for Lauren Peterson and the Davenport University Panthers. Panthers are 1-1 so far this year. The Saints are 1-1-1. They've gotten a better result each time out, going from a loss in Game 1 at Clark back on August 18th to a tie against Harris Stowe University on August 26th. And then they picked up their first victory of the year earlier this week. It was on Labor Day, a 1-0 win against Asbury. Corner kick here for Davenport as Ashlyn Skidmore sets it up and tries to give the Panthers the first score of the game. 29 minutes remaining in the first half. Skidmore's got it set. She sends it away towards the front post. It's headed out of harm's way by the Saints. Ball still alive, and Davenport's attacking zone. There's a ball into the box. A shot towards the net. Ellie Provo can't quite reach it, and it scores for Davenport. The Panthers are able to put the ball in the back of the net indirectly off of the corner kick. It's what got it all started. And Davenport takes a 1-0 lead with 28:47 to play in the first half. And see who was the one to get her foot on the ball there. But a nice setup for Davenport overall. And now the Saints are going to have to play catch-up as Casey Harris gives it a big boot down the field and towards the back line to try to get the attack started for St. Francis. DeWise is in control of it. And she moves it off to the left side as they make their way out of the box. Well, 1-0, Davenport has the lead. St. Francis hasn't gotten any strong offense yet in this game. We'll see if they can turn that around going forward now that they have a slight deficit. Still plenty of time to make the comeback as Haley Wenberg tosses it in. This is Kelly Petrowski along the sideline and forced out by Amani Richards. Richards was the last one to touch that ball, so Petrowski gets to toss it in. Petrowski looking for the cross. Couldn't hook up with Olivia De La Rosa. It's cleared for the moment, but out of bounds and back to the Saints on the throw-in. Goal for Davenport was their 3rd of the season in 3 games played. They were shut out in their first contest this year, a 2-0 loss, before bouncing back with a 2-0 win in their last performance. This is their first half goal of the season, and it's scored by Allison Lertzma. For Lertzma, her first goal of the year. Knocked out of bounds by Davenport. Another St. Francis throw-in. They've been able to sustain possession in the attacking third of the field here, but still struggling to get it into the box and get a good shot off as it's tossed in off the foot of Kelly Petrowski and straight Out of bounds. This time Davenport gets the throw in, and they'll be able to get a chance to clear it here as it goes to their back line. 1-0 Davenport leads, 27 minutes to play in the first half. Brittany Cook heads it back towards Casey Harris. Harris starting to make her move over to Petrowski. Here comes Martina Katurba. Katurba rolls into the box looking for De La Rosa, and just a little bit too far out in front of her as Macy DeWise picks it up. Scooped up by the goalie of Davenport, who clears it downfield. But here come the Saints once again. Nice interception there for St. Francis. Into the box. Alonso has it knocked away, but right back on the ricochet to De La Rosa, trying to get it in front of the net to Kelly Petrowski, but it's knocked away by Davenport. Here come the Saints once again. Katurba tripped up. Tripped by Peterson on the play, and the Saints will get a free kick from just about 30 yards out, dead center. A good opportunity here for St. Francis. Martina Katurba had to take a fall in order to get this opportunity, but it works out pretty well in the end as Casey Harris sets the ball up. A little bit further out than I thought the penalty had initially taken place, but it's still just about 34 or so yards away from the net. DeWise is set up on the near post right now as today's referee Michael Kennedy backs up the defensive wall for Davenport. Casey Harris approaches, sends it towards the goal, and just a little bit too high. Harris sends it too high, not bad direction on the free kick there, but over the crossbar. And that sets up a goal kick for DeWise and Davenport. Best chance that the Saints have had so far today. But they come up empty. They trail 1-0 as we move forward here. Back to DeWise again. Ever since Davenport scored their goal, St. Francis has upped the ante as far as their pressure goes. They've not given the ball up into Davenport, or into St. Francis territory, I should say, yet. Now that one just barely across midfield, but headed back immediately by Brittany Cook. And now Davenport trying to take control around midfield. That ball is lofted towards the back line. Camille Papalera running step for step with Bennett. And that ball bounces back into the hands of the goalkeeper, Ellie Provo. There's Richards hitting it high, straight up into the air. Alex Prout looking to receive it for Davenport, but she's not able to control that ball as it bounces just to her left and rolls out of bounds. Saints throw in here. Tossed in for Petrowski, but Richards jumps that pass and is able to knock it back the other way. Prout back to Richards. Knocks it all the way back. That was Cassandra Bosworth sending it downfield. And out of bounds off of a defender for St. Francis. Peterson tosses it in to restart the Davenport possession. Knocked out. This time, Fighting Saints get the throw in. Davenport scored a few minutes back off of a corner kick. They didn't score immediately off the kick, but it was the second wave attack after the initial corner kick. Goal scored by Allison Lertzma, junior midfielder. Battle for the ball near midfield. Hilgendorf wins it for Davenport. Taken back by Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa does a nice job of getting that ball off to her left and Casey Harris. Harris's pass immediately deflected back, but still a nice job by the Saints to take possession. Now we'll see if they can do anything with it. Harris's pass deflected again. Looked like that ball was going to roll out of bounds, but Lauren Peterson steps in and stops it. Saints back on the move, though. That's Petrowski off to Alonso. Taken away by the Panthers. Down along the far sideline. Davenport trying to get their solid possession going back again. They had good possession time early in the game. That changed after their goal as Lertzma tries to chase that ball down and comes up empty. It rolls beyond her and out of bounds along the back line. That's a goal kick for the Fighting Saints. Halfway through the first half. Still a long way to go before halftime here as the Saints try to even things up. De La Rosa loses that ball off her foot. Off of the goal kick, De La Rosa tried to control it and turn it upfield. But came up a little bit soft off the toe, went out of bounds. Still, Saints are able to take over here. Petrowski off the head to her left, but back to the defense of Davenport, and they'll send it further back, all the way to DeWise, who stands in front of the net and reverses field, coming to her right now. Bosworth back once again towards DeWise. And Macy DeWise reverses field to her left. This is Dunstan, and they're just going back and forth with the goalkeeper right now as the Saints offense has just been hovering around. DeWise unable to get it downfield. Now DeWise finally sends it a big boot down towards midfield. Pretty strong winds blowing today. They're blowing from north to south, which means here in the first half they favor Davenport. DeWise was not necessarily taking advantage of those winds there. You kind of have to get the ball up into the air like that one for the wind to push it back, and you could see the way that the ball was knocked back by the wind towards St. Francis offensively, that possession. Casey Harris, middle of the field, turns and takes a shot. It's saved by DeWise. Harris very aggressive. She's taken a couple of deep shots, one on a free kick a few minutes ago. That time well defended, but she decided to take a chance. Now she'll try to take another chance. Getting down into the box, wrestled away by Lauren Peterson. Great defense by Peterson. Here's Olivia De La Rosa. De La Rosa takes a shot. It's deflected by Bosworth. Ball loose in the box. Knocked out of the way by Amani Richards. Martina Katurba keeps the pressure on for St. Francis. She's in the box, and she loses the ball. More good defense from the Panthers. That time it was Christina Dunstan. Just over 20 minutes to go in the first half. Davenport leads 1-0. St. Francis had a few good chances there. Started with Casey Harris, who turned and fired from nearly 40 yards out. It was deflected short of the net. Saints got it back. Olivia De La Rosa got it into the box. Another chance for Casey Harris, and then in the end, Martina Katurba made a little run, but she was halted